she's telling me with this that they could say I'm breaking the law if I copy it and put it on YouTube, because what she's saying is that I signed to get an apartment there under HUD, and she has the information. They do supposedly suddenly a background check on you, and so I don't know where this came from, what she's talking about. She also had, which my doctor I've been going to for 4 years, treats me for chemical. Uh, that's what's helping tear my kidneys down for inflammation due to my allergy to chemicals. I also know that in this, because of the agency and cops and who's involved, that they can get stuff on anybody, and people are more than willing to comply. I'm the one getting whipped up on, so I don't know exactly what she's talking about. Why on earth would you have to burn it or tear? Is this a burn notice or something? It's nothing funny about it. It's ludicrous, and is required to destroy the information after its stated need has been fulfilled. If you're not the intended recipient, which they could say that's me, and I'm the person they're talking about, you are hereby notified that any disclosure, copying, distribution, or action taken in reliance on the contents of these documents is strictly prohibited by federal law. If you have received this information in error, please notify the sender immediately and delete this transmission. Anyway, you won't see any of this in a background check. You'd see me using a name, Peggy Ann Childers. That's not my name. My name's Margaret Ann Windsor. Can you imagine me going up to somebody and saying, yeah, my father's King Edward VIII, and a psychiatrist wouldn't listen to you. And if you think I'm exaggerating on any of this, no, you haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg on it. It's hideous. The Joseph's Way by the Reverend, it's a HUD, Brenda Ellis ran it. And like I say, if they ever, who are you going to get to do it? To put them before a court of law. I can't believe all these people wouldn't, not that they wouldn't lie about it, the managers and all that participated in it, but somebody's going to slip up, and then it's the domino effect. It would all prove itself that it happened. So the minister that owned Joseph's Way, because I had to leave there after 7 months, and by the way, I want to put this in, because they hired a man, kind of young-looking man, just before I left Joseph's Way. I had to leave for health. I mean, that was killing me. That's when my vascular system started tearing down. My legs I'd never had problems. And Beverly, whoever Beverly was, I've had all these people that suddenly, some of them live beside me, that you wonder what they're really doing there. She was afraid to tell me, but she came up to me and says, my word's no good. I have to back it up with somebody else. She said, you know what they're feeding you through, well, it's through the vents. And these are brand new apartments, by the way. She says it's going to tear down your vascular system, your veins. And man, they had been stinging and burning and feeling like you had not, excuse me, my leg, then, so I knew it was something they were putting in the apartment. And now that my legs are beyond any help, I think. They are really horrible, knotted and veins broken and sting up to really way past my knees on up, and it's horrible. Now then, people listening to this, if they're even listening, will probably tune it out, just like the last years that I started telling about it in 77. I'm going to go back to Joseph's Way. I had to leave there. I came back to Roanoke, and I had to have a place to live. And the woman at Corporate Suites that I called told me, she said, well, I'm going to focus on this. Uh, this was Larry Flint, the endorsement during the campaign in '83, and that was this was where they endorsed me and said that I knew who was responsible for his shooting. Now then, I got off the tracks there, but I wanted to focus it on something else, another picture. Oh, so I came from Joseph's Way to Corporate Suites. I didn't know it was associated with affordable corporate suites. Oh, Gene Croft is the manager there. I've stayed at several of his. They're all called corporate suites, and he's Jewish. And believe me, they have soaked me in chemicals, and there's not a thing that can be done. And if it's hard for you to believe that all these managers and all of them got in on it, it makes you sound paranoid, and that's exactly what I'm telling you. They have created a warfare that they can have somebody come and lock you up, and you can be standing there telling the truth. So help you God, and you get hauled off for telling the truth, and they call it something else. But I came across from Joseph's Way in Bedford, next door here, and the woman at Corporate Suites, which I found out is affordable corporate suites, a part of it. She's a black lady, and she says, "Well, hey, you come on over here." And she says, she failed to tell me that she knew me. I didn't know it was her talking to me. And she said, "My brother's a policeman in the Bedford Police Department, and you come on over here and we'll take care of you." Well, she did, not the way I thought. I got over here in 3 months of sheer hell, and then I had to leave, and the money I had saved, I had one pair of shoes I bought back the middle of 11 while I lived at Joseph's Way. I'm still wearing them. The money I saved was gone in a heartbeat, having to move from here to there and getting triggered to where I couldn't stay. So I've said enough there. Now then, I did, was last year, and I've got the letters from this. I put it on YouTube, Facebook. But I wrote a letter because Joseph's Way, which I just left in Bedford and came to Corporate Suites, they had a new village retirement in Christiansburg. Christiansburg is about 40 miles from Roanoke, where I am, and it's also like a twin city kind of to Blacksburg and Virginia Tech. And they had a new one there, and there was only 4 residents, and this is kind of huge. They got a lot of units in it, and they're relatively nice, but they're HUD, and this is the Reverend Moore, the black minister out of Washington, North Carolina, that owns them, along with the federal government subsidizing. Okay, so there you get your federal government in. But the point is that her name is Scott. And if I laugh, it's so hideous. Scott, they're taking from, and that's really her name, I think, son of Scott. And suddenly they have to do a police background check on me, like I'm a criminal. And she said, "We're going to have to go back everywhere you've worked and lived and do a background check on you, a police background check." Well, they denied me, and they sent me a letter, which I've put on YouTube, where I didn't meet something their requirements. This is HUD. Unless you've committed a felony or a crime, and by the way, I want to put in here, Richfield, now I've just put this, and this, they did a police background check. You know, I lived there in '08 at Richfield. I didn't commit the crime. They did, assaulted me with chemicals till I had to move. Now then, and had to break a lease. Now then, they did a background check, and this comes up. Where was all this when I first moved in, when a member of the law enforcement took me there, Terry Sawyer? Okay, where was this